Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Welcome to ProjectME, the Posse and podcast. I'm Tiffany Carter, your host, and you are going to get a dose of confidence, of self-assurance, of empowerment by listening to this episode today. I cannot handle any longer hearing from you guys saying stuff like, well, the market is so saturated. There's already so many people doing this. I'm only this many years old, and there's so many people that have much more experience than I do. So why would they hire me? Or I don't have degrees or credentials. Or maybe it's, I've waited too long and now I'm old. And there's all these, young 25-year-olds doing this already. And who's going to want to hire me? And what's the point? Or I've been in this career for this amount of time, and now I'm wanting to shift and truly follow my passion and my soul calling. And people are going to think I'm crazy and nuts to leave that behind. And what if it doesn't work? And what if I fail and then I'm going to have to go get a job again? And so on and so on and so on and so on. Why we don't show up at our fullest all comes down to a lack in belief in ourselves and our actual true calling. That's what it comes down to. It's having that lack of belief. And a lack of belief can come from having a seed of doubt. It can come from having a mountain of doubt, a sliver of doubt. Remember, I have spent most of my life having zero self-worth. I was raised in an extremely abusive household. Then I was bullied in middle school. I was an only child. Both my parents were only children. I did not have someone I could go to. Even the school counselor turned on me. I had no self-worth. Any kind of confidence that appeared on the outside was all fake and a show to protect myself and for safety. I didn't feel I was worthy of even living. And these are thoughts I had even at 11 years old. I didn't feel like I belonged. And that carried with me my entire life. Here, I was on TV as a newscaster. I felt like I was putting on a costume and putting on a show and playing a part. I felt empty inside. Even when I started my business, I had very little self-worth, which is why I had to work so damn hard to make the money I made in especially those first 5 years of my business, because I was fighting against myself and the heaping doubt. Filled with doubt, riddled with self-doubt. So when I get DMs from you guys, people tell me things after, maybe I've spoken at an event or a conference or something, or even from my private clients, it makes me sad, but I understand because I was there, and I want to show you that you guys can help get yourselves out of this self-doubt zone. You've just forgotten. No one's reminded you. You've chosen to not remind yourself. You might not even know how to remind yourself because no one's fucking taught you. So I'm going to teach you. No one taught me. Not one person taught me. I'm completely had to be self-taught until, I was old enough to where, then I went to God knows how many years of therapy. Shout out to Janice and then Lorraine, by the way. Thank you very much. I've had every single kind of therapy there is possibly known to man, like even things you guys didn't even think were possible. So you have this doubt, whatever amount it is, because some shit that was said to you in your childhood, some significant relationship in your life at some point, or even right now. It could be a boss. It could be a spouse. It could be a best friend. Someone you see repeatedly is saying, oh, you can't make money doing that. You know what? One of the first things said to me, and this wasn't even by a close friend, but it was someone who I really liked that could have been a friend. When I said I'm starting a podcast, even though I already had another business that was successful, I was going to start ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, right, 1.5 years ago. And a big part of this brand is this show. This is something I really wanted to do. And in order to, help all of you guys and serve all of you guys, and something I just love doing. And I remember I shared with this person because I thought they were a safe person to share that with. And their immediate response was, oh, I know a lot of people who've done podcasts. There's no money in that. Like, that's basically like a hobby. You know that, right? And I was like, gulp. I'm like, well, and this was face to face too. And I was like, well, and I go, but there are a lot of really successful podcasts that reach a lot of people, help a lot of people, and do make a lot of money because there's so many downloads and subscribers and yada, 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 all the things I teach, right? And they were like, well, I'm just telling you. And by the way, this person knows some quite successful people in the social media space, like influencers per se, right? So I remember driving back to my house feeling a little deflated, like, God, am I delusional thinking? Yes, I know. I do know I'm an excellent communicator. It was a God-given gift. And then I refined that gift by lots of practice, by going to broadcast journalism school, by just years being on this earth and studying it and repeating. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, I know I'm a good communicator. I know I'm a professionally trained broadcaster. I know my heart is in the right place. This is my soul calling. It really genuinely is. I know it is my mission to help as many women as possible get out of their own way so they can go after their purpose and their passion and make however much money they want to make with that. And it's totally possible for them. That really, really is my focus. And I go, but maybe I'm thinking like, maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I'm being like kind of cocky, like, and I went down the who do I think I am? Who am I path? How many of you have had those thoughts? It's like raise of hands, not that I can see you guys, but like raise your hand in your car or like at your desk, or if you're like doing something really weird, which I know some of you take me to like Target with you, which I'm a big fan of. Raise your hand. You've said that to yourself. Like, who am I? When we start thinking bigger and these bolder dreams and visions for ourselves, that is something that happens that crushes so many dreams, are those that self-doubt thought process of, well, who do I think I am? Like, oh my God, it could be someone else saying something to you, like what that someone said to me. You could be saying it to yourself. It could be someone even, much closer to you saying it repeatedly. It could be you even seeing like a news story or overhearing someone else's story about writing a book and it failed. And you're like, God, who am I to write a book? Like, who's going to read my book? Like, I didn't even graduate college. Like, I probably have really bad grammar. Right? By the way, like some of my most favorite books are by people who didn't go to college and their grammar is not fantastic. That's why that you hire an editor to fix all that. Anyway, I digress. So that seed of doubt, what I could have done is I could have ran with that and said, oh my God, she was right. And started looking for evidence of how you really don't make much in podcasts. God knows how many. There are tens of thousands of podcasts out there. And I think I'm going to stand out among all these podcasts. Am I nuts? I could have really ran with it. But because I've done the inner work and I've strengthened that muscle of managing my self-doubt and managing that low self-worth vibe that creeps up. Okay. It still creeps up. I'm only a human being, right? As are all of you. It's going to creep up no matter how much work you've done on it, how much therapy, how evolved you are. It does not matter how spiritual you are. It's going to come up. We're fallible. We can't help it. But are you going to run with it, what someone says? And it could be your own thought, right? So right now, if you guys are following me, especially on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany, you know that I have launched for the first time ever my signature sales course, Selling with Soul, teaching you how to market, promote, and share your services in a way that feels good and attracts your ideal client without feeling like you're needing to be pushy or annoying or chasing after clients. You're doing it in a way that feels good to your soul. This way, you are enjoying talking about what you do and what you share and who you help on repeat. And therefore, you're able to help more people, make more impact, and get paid a lot of money in the meantime. So I've created a beautiful 10 module course, plus I'm including tons of bonuses, which also include my proven Selling with Soul sales scripts. So you have word for word exactly what to say on sales calls, what to say back to people when they say they can't afford it, when they don't have the time. Plus even amazing physical bonuses for people who pay in full. A huge swag box will be sent to you with really, really cool stuff. And it's also at the lowest price it will ever be in the history of me launching this course, because it's an introductory course in the sense of I've never had one before by the ProjectME Business Academy. You guys will have it at the lowest price it'll ever be at. So if you need help sharing your services, whether you're in network marketing, you're a realtor, you have a corporate job, you are a coach, you're in fitness, you're a nutritionist. If you have something that you share or promote, that you actually sell, that you want to make money doing, this is for you, especially if you dread selling, you struggle with it, you feel awkward, you don't know what the hell to say, you don't know how often to say it, you're not getting consistent clients or cash. This is designed for you. You guys can go to ProjectMeWithTiffany.com /selling with soul. ProjectMeWithTiffany.com /selling with soul. If for whatever reason you're driving and you don't remember that, you can always DM me on Instagram at ProjectMeWithTiffany and I will drop you the link. The cart is only open for a couple more days and then it closes. I am not releasing and making this course available to the public until much later this year, if this year at all. I'm not sure if I'm making it a one time a year course or twice a year. But if you want to be in the first class ever of Selling with Soul by the ProjectME Business Academy and be the class of 2020, go take a look at it. At least go take a look at the page, see what the people have to say, look at the modules, look what you get, and see what comes up for you and if you vibe it. All right, I went off on a bit of a tangent there. But you guys see what I'm saying with I'm in the middle of launching and putting a lot of stuff out there with this course. This is my first course under this brand. I have launched many courses before, but for other companies. Totally different. This is my soul calling. This is my purpose. This is my baby. Guess what happens when you're going after your purpose, your soul calling, your mission, your divine assignment? All the self-doubt shit comes up. all crazy thoughts come up. The amount of stuff I'm having to manage in my brain right now that is coming up is insane. But I knew it was going to happen, because that's when you know you are really following your divine path, is when you start getting lots of nervousness, butterflies, self-doubt, crazy thoughts. I mean, I've had thoughts like, what if no one buys it? And I just poured my heart and soul into this, and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars creating this course. It's professionally shot and edited. There's workbooks that are beautifully done for every single module, along with all the bonuses. And it's like, there's sales pages. There's all, I've put in a lot of money, time, effort, love. What if no one buys it? I mean, crazy thoughts I'm having, because I created this course because you guys asked me for it. These are all the things you guys told me that you struggle with. So I created a solution for it. I would never just create something and hope you like it. I don't teach that. By the way, that's something else I teach in Selling with Soul. So all this stuff is coming up, and it's like, then I started even going, well, God, there's all these other people who are selling courses. And even though they're not, even though they don't have a course on this topic, how are these people selling like thousands and thousands and thousands of these courses on subjects that are like kind of bizarre? I don't get it. Maybe I'm not seeing the numbers as early as I want to see it. I could run with that, is my point. Just like I could have ran with that comment about podcasts don't make money, it's just a hobby, right? I could have ran with that. I could run with any of these thoughts. It's a choice of yours. You can run with any of those thoughts and go down the low vibe rabbit hole, all the way down to feelings like shame, depression, disappointment. Now you're demotivated. Or you have a choice of going, hold on a second. Is that absolutely true with 100% certainty for a fact? Right? And then repeat this craziness someone told you or you said to yourself, like, oh, a blog, there's hundreds of thousands of blogs out there. Another mom blog, that's not going to do anything. Like, that's going to take you forever to make money doing that. Oh, you want to have an online jewelry store? Well, you're going to have to invest a lot of money to get that started. Oh, you want to be a top in your network marketing company? Well, those things are scams. Like, the people who are at the top are, sleazy people who, really push all the time to get people to enroll. Is that absolutely true with 100% certainty for a fact for now and forever? No, it is not. Most of the shit people say to us and the stuff we say to ourselves are lies. They are not facts. Even if you had failed 5 other times before, that doesn't mean you're going to fail this time. Did you know most all successful business owners have failed before, multiple times? You know that I have, so if we want to label it as failure, I've failed before. I had $1 million in the bank by the time I was 30 years old. A solid 7 figures in the bank. Not, I have a 7-figure business and that money's not in the bank. In the bank. And in 3 months, almost all of it was gone, and it was my fault. I had to start all freaking over again. That is not atypical when you see successful business owners. You know why? Because the people who are successful keep getting up and keep going anyway, even when it's hard, even when it's embarrassing, even when you are exhausted and you're miserable. We might take a few days to like lick our wounds, but we get back up, and you guys are going to get back up. Do not run with those seeds that are being planted from other people. That is your choice. And if you keep running with it, there's a payoff for it. There's a payoff for anything that we do repeatedly, even a negative behavior, right? Just like when I am, this is something I used to do. It was bad. I mean, I went through 2 Ben & Jerry's ice creams a week when I was in full-blown exercise addiction. I mean, just insane. It was probably my body yelling at me. It wanted calories so bad. And I justified it because I just picked out all the chunks of, stuff in it, cookie dough, fudge things. And I was like, well, I'm really not eating the whole thing. Anyway, that is not a healthy behavior, nor was me working out 4 hours a day. But I got a payoff for it anyway, right? It was an instant gratification payoff. It tasted good. The workout thing, I liked how my body looked. I got an endorphin high. Lots of people complimented me all the time. Not just how I looked, but like, oh my God, you're so disciplined. Oh my God, that's so impressive that you do that. That was my payoff. So if you keep running with those seeds of doubt, whether you're implanting them or someone else has implanted them and you're allowing it to stay there and you run with it, I understand before you might not have been aware of it, so you didn't catch yourself, right? But if you know that what they said isn't necessarily true and you don't take a moment to ask yourself, is that absolutely true with 100% certainty for a fact for now and forever? You don't take that damn 2 seconds to do that. That's your choice. And why? What is your payoff for running with it? Is it because now you don't have to work? You've let yourself off the hook. Now you don't have to do any of the hard, boring, unsexy work it's going to take for you to follow your divine mission. Because your divine mission is not you chilling on the couch. It's not you being able to never be scared. It's not you staying safe and unexposed. When you follow your true soul calling, it involves you feeling vulnerable, uncomfortable, terrified, stressed. Now, there's all sorts of extremely positive emotions too. But usually what I've noticed in the over 1,500 people that I've coached personally is the reason they follow that seed of doubt is because they can get down this depression and shame path. Then they give themselves permission to, well, why do I even bother? I'm stuck now. I'm confused. Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Maybe I shouldn't do this. Because now you're not in any action. Action is very scary when we're going after our dreams. And action also requires you to not be lazy, and it requires discipline, and it requires work, and it requires you doing the unfun parts of going after your dreams, whether it's writing a book. Yeah, that sounds really fun. It sounds really sexy, right? I'm writing a book. It sounds great. Even thinking of like bestseller, and I'm on the bestseller list, and now I'm going to be like on the Today Show. All that fantasy thinking is great, but guess what? You've got to write that book, be disciplined enough to do it. You might even have to get up every day at 4 a.m. to write and have peace and quiet to write for 4 hours, and get up even when you don't feel like it, and write even when you're uninspired in order to produce that book. It's not going to be as just simple as that. I can tell you that for a fact in now having 2 businesses. It is not going to just be as simple as that. And that seed of doubt gives yourself a weird form of permission of letting yourself off the hook. It's similar to getting sick. I notice when a lot of people are really finally embracing going after their dreams or taking their business to another level, they get sick. It's an amazing response, a visceral response the body has to, oh my God, stay safe. This is scary. Stay safe. So now you have the awareness. If you didn't before, you have a tool, you have a question to ask yourself. It's your choice to say it. You might have to question your crazy ass thoughts 100 times a day at first. And I just want you to know that's normal. And it does get better and it dies down, but you've got to be disciplined with it. I'm managing the biggest challenge, I would say, when you are launching something. I don't care if it's free. I don't care if it's an event, a book, a podcast, a YouTube channel, whatever the hell it is, a coaching program, a new service at your business. I don't care what it is. You're going to have pure craziness come up. And the number one thing you have to manage through all that is that self-doubt and those crazy thoughts. Because if you run with those seeds of doubt, what will it do? It pulls your energy way down. And what do I teach you guys, right? Energy is most of it. You can't fake energy. So if I ran with any of those seeds of doubt right now, I let it bring my vibe totally down. Number one, I wouldn't be able to record the episode at all, or even in the way I'm conveying it right now. Number two, I would not be able to show up and share my services and encourage people to go and invest and buy the damn course that I know for a fact, if they follow everything I say in there and they're really disciplined, that you will absolutely have results. I wouldn't be able to show up with that much conviction and confidence, and how selfish of me, because if I don't show up and do that, then there would be fewer people buying the course and then fewer people having these amazing results. This is the domino effect of going down that path. So don't go down that path. And if you guys really love this episode, do me a big favor. I would love to see you posting this on Instagram. You can post it on Facebook too. Tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Let's get people listening to this and getting them out of their self-doubt. Let's create like a little bit of a, movement with it, so we can have more people getting out of their own way. Let's inspire other people to listen and just have this pattern interrupt in their lives, okay? So take a screenshot, post it, tag me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Wishing you guys great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.